Hello and welcome back to Sports Khabri and Arun Foot. We are back with another episode, joined by Curious Harry, Shoyan, and Arunava. We'll be discussing the Durand Cup Quarterfinals and a very important match that took place tonight, which was the AFC Cup between Mohan Bagan and, I'm sorry,
Abahani Limited Dhaka.
yes, that's the right pronunciation. So, yes, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Arunava, I'll start with you. Your views after you got to know about the Mohan Bagan result.
So first of all, Akshata, very happy and thank you for joining us, gentlemen, for this podcast. I think I can speak for all three of us. We're very happy to see you after a while. So thanks for doing that first. I had said on Shayan's show last night, we did a little, he asked predictions. I said 3-1 because I felt Abhani had it in them to score, which they did. From what the little that I've seen so far, Mohun Bagan did have their problems. I think this was no pushover, but in the end, the quality that this squad has showed itself. And I think, again, we discussed it yesterday on Shayan's show in Bengali with a lot of East Bengal fans. And I think Shayan said a very, very important thing yesterday. It is important that we support Mohun Bagan in this instance as an Indian club. So it doesn't matter who it is. As Indian football fans, any club playing continental competitions, we need to support. And it's important for India to potentially maybe at some stage in the next 2, 3, 4 years, maybe get a Champions League spot back. We need all the clubs to be successful and win as many matches as possible against opposition from other countries. So for that, it was a must that Mohun Bagan won today and qualified for the group stages of the AFC Asian Cup, AFC Cup 2023.
Hiren and Shayan, I want to ask one very basic question. काफी लोगों को पता नहीं चला था कि कहाँ पे स्ट्रीम हो रहा है, उसमें भी काफी इश्यूज थे. तो लाइक स्ट्रीमिंग के बारे में भी अगर आप थोड़ा सा बताएं कि कैसा था स्ट्रीम और क्या हम बेहतर कर सकते थे.
आई थिंक क्वालिफायर्स के जितने भी मैचेस थे, आई थिंक उसमें एफसी ने जो भी क्लब्स खेल रहा था उनको ही रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी थी. तो आई थिंक यहाँ पे जैसे मोहन बगान अपने फेसबुक पेज के थ्रू सब्सक्रिप्शन के बेसिस पे वो कर रहा था. तो इसलिए देखिए, अभी आपको पता है कि जिस तरह की रीच यूट्यूब की है उतनी ज्यादा आप बोल सकते कि फेसबुक अभी जो यंगर जनरेशन है और उसमें वो यूज नहीं होता. तो आप देखिए कि जो दोनों ही मैच हुए, पहला भी जो उन्होंने 16 अगस्त को खेला था उस टाइम पे भी मैंने दोनों मैच लाइव किया था. तो काफी सारे फैंस ऐसे थे, मतलब उनको पता ही नहीं था कि भाई कहाँ पे मैच हो रहा है. हर बार वो पूछ रहे हैं कि मैच का आप लिंक दे दीजिए. तो आई थिंक ये मेरे को लगता है कि थोड़ा सा मिसमैनेजमेंट मैं बोलूंगा मोहन बगान सुपर जायंट का. अगर उनको करना ही था लाइव तो आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से अगर वो यूट्यूब के प्लेटफॉर्म पे करते और वहां पे अगर उस तरह के मॉडल के या फिर उनके पास मतलब इन स्पोर्ट टीवी आई थिंक एक बेहतरीन जो सीएफएल को ब्रॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं वो भी आई थिंक एक बेहतरीन ब्रॉडकास्टर है. तो आई थिंक उनके थ्रू भी करवाते तो और ज्यादा लोगों तक पहुंच पाता, मेरे को लगता है. एंड आज के मैच में जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कि भाई यूट्यूब पे इनलीगल स्ट्रीम पे आप देखें कि ज्यादा लोग देख रहे थे कंपेरेटिव टू अगर आप फेसबुक पे उनके जो ऑफिशियल ब्रॉडकास्ट हो रहा था वहां से. तो आई थिंक ये एक इश्यू रहा है इंडियन फुटबॉल में कि मैचेस आपको इजीली, मतलब चाहे वो इंटरनेशनल मैच, एएफसी लेवल का मैच, अगर आप एएफसी की गलती ही मानूंगा मैं तो ऑब्वियसली है. और मैंने इसके बारे में 2-3 दिन पहले बोला भी था कि अगर आप मतलब आप बातें करते हो कि हमें यूएफए के लेवल पे कम्पीट करना है, सारी चीजें करनी है, लेकिन आप जिस कंट्री में जिस क्लब का मैच हो रहा है उसी कंट्री में आप टीवी पे भी वो मैच ब्रॉडकास्ट नहीं करवा पा रहे. तो दैट्स द सैड पार्ट. एंड आई थिंक ये एफसी जितना मतलब उसकी इतनी ज्यादा बातें यहाँ पे इंडिया में अभी नहीं होती, लेकिन वो भी एक मतलब वन ऑफ द करप्टेड बॉडी है. जिस तरह से यूएफए की बात होती है सेम ही है एएफसी का भी. एंड जिस तरह के वो फॉर्मेट भी लाए नए भी, उसमें भी काफी ज्यादा फ्लॉज भी है. एंड ब्रॉडकास्टिंग का आई थिंक लेट्स होप की जो मेन इवेंट है वो तो एटलीस्ट प्रॉपर तरीके से हमें देखने को मिले, ना कि इस तरह से हमें मतलब फेसबुक और वहां पे फैंस को ढूंढना पड़े.
I'll just add to this, and I will counter what Hiren said, because I see it from the other side, from an organizational standpoint. We have to be honest. TV channels in India don't want to buy rights. Indian football, TV rights, market, zero. So that's your first problem. The AFC does not handle the rights itself. There is an agency which handles. It's the same thing as AFF and FSDL. The agency tried its best. the problem that there is also that Mohun Bagan, I think, tried out something. The Mohun Bagan Supergiant wanted to try out something via a paid platform.
Correct.
And Shayan and I are part of a group, that the WhatsApp group that Shayan has created, and most of the people are asking for a free link. So the question has to be asked, and we're talking about 199 rupees minimum 2 matches. Now you'll have 5 matches potentially, maybe 6, maybe 7.
Correct.
You're not willing to spend for your club. And if anyone is asking for a link, sorry, just do a Google search. You will find it in 0.00 whatever second. People are just, sorry to say that, people are very lazy on this. They're asking people like Shayan or people like Harry or maybe you, Akshata, me, link kahan se milega? It's not difficult. So again, this gives us reach to potentially to put it out on Twitter whenever it's legal and all that stuff. So again, it is sometimes I feel they want the food, you chew it for them and then you give it to them and then they'll just swallow the food.
Yes.
It is I go back to when we started indianfootball.com in 1998. People like Novi Kapadia, Adhiman Sakar in Kolkata was helping. There used to be a Sunil Warrior in Mumbai. There used to be a Rajiv Kolasari in Bangalore. They used to send us results. They used to go back to their offices and then send us an email with the result. We put out results 5 hours later. So I see it a little different because, again, even if I want to see it, there are means and ways of watching Indian football today. When I started IndianFootball.com, I had to waste 5 hours minimum. Sometimes we waited 12 hours to even know what the result of a match. There was no WhatsApp or whatever. But again, it's a little effort should be made by the guys. It should, it's not that, again, to blame the club, to blame the AFC, to blame the AFF is always easy. What are you doing? You want a free link, so you don't even want to pay for the product. But that's a different discussion. But sorry, but it was I thought I should say this, and I think make a point with it. Sorry.
No, that's a very valid point, Arnav. Shayan, you very rightly mentioned one thing, that because it's an Indian club, and you being an East Bengal fan, you are also supporting Mohun Bagan in an important tournament such as this. But do you think that the match was also sort of like people were made aware of that a match of this scale is happening? Because to be very honest, on my Twitter timeline, I hardly saw any tweets informing me about the match or where it can be watched. So from that perspective, do you think we could have done a much better job?
Definitely. I think the host team, I think Mohun Bagan Supergiant, who is spending so much money on getting good players, it was their prime duty to promote this game on a different level. It was an AFC competition, and where they are hoping to win the title. In fact, yesterday when I was having a talk with one of the top officials of Mohun Bagan, they were quite sure that this team is going to the top 4 of this AFC Cup. But in saying that, one thing I also I said him yesterday that the promotion regarding the hype created regarding this match was pretty poor. If I remember, the match which was placed last week had only 5,500 attendance. I think which is one of the lowest Mohun Bagan's attendance in last 1.5 years. If I remember, after
Sven by today is 10,000.
Today is 10,000. Today is 10,000, but because we have Mohun Bagan has gone one step further, so it has been 10,000. But 10,000 also is a very weak number, considering the timing was also in favor after the official hours and everything was in favor. 10,000 itself is a very weak number to be considered. So that way, Akshata, the promotion of this game was not up to the mark, and there was hardly any hoarding in Kolkata regarding promotion of the game, when the game will be played. In fact, many of the supporters were unaware of the timing of the game. In fact, in the group we had, people were unaware what's the timing. They were asking for the time when the match will start. That shows how poorly it was totally organized by the host. By the host, but nevertheless, Mohun Bagan won the game, and that's a good thing. And in our channel, in every other places, we have already said that for AFC continental competition, we are supporting not only Mohun Bagan. For AFC Champions League, we are supporting Mumbai City FC, and in AFC Cup again, Odisha is also will be playing, so we will be supporting Odisha. And if you ask me who will support against Odisha versus Mohun Bagan, then that's a different thing, because they will be the same.
Ah, so Shayan has just shown his true colors.
But no, today I was really supporting. They should win. Actually, we made a attempt for to all the East Bengal fans to come up and support the team. Let's see. It's our city team, and we'll support them.
So before we start talking about the Durand Cup, there are a couple of questions that I think we can maybe take up before we start discussing the
Sure.
tournament. The first one is from. Is the question visible on our screen? Yes, Kumar. Kumar has a very important question. Why the hell Mumbai City FC changed the stadium from Andheri to Pune? Does Mumbai City FCCO does not know what stadium does not fit the AFC standards? Can they make renovations to stadiums? I'll
They
hide
can't.
the comment.
So Kumar, sorry. I mean, we've had a number of conversations on this in the past on Twitter Spaces as well. You're making a judgment on a topic where do you know why these decisions are being made? Andheri Sports Complex is not compliant with AFC Champions League regulations. The DY Patil Stadium is going to be used in some sort of form way, most probably in the Cricket World Cup, if I'm not wrong. So therefore,
Right.
there is no option left in the city of Mumbai. So therefore, you go. And Andheri Sports Complex is not owned by Mumbai City. I can't say I will change this, I will change this, I will change that. You can't do it. It belongs to the municipality. So therefore, if you look at options, it was either Pune or potentially was Goa, the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Fatorda. So therefore, again, and this comes back to logistical issues that we sometimes have in India. A city like Kolkata now has multiple stadiums, right? Tell me other places, right? That's one of the things, and therefore Kandap has taken that decision, or Kandap with his team has taken that decision. Kandap was the CEO of Mumbai City, and Candy has taken that decision because there is no other option. Therefore, Mumbai City will have to play in Pune, and they'll have to prepare the ground in Pune. Therefore, that announcement was made today. Yeah, and it was most probably the only decision that Mumbai City could do. So therefore, again, Kumar, one request: think about it, and know the background before making such a comment, please.
But do you think, Anuma, we have enough time for the team to prepare the ground for the ISL starts and for other matches?
No, ISL will happen in Mumbai. It's
Okay.
the continental matches will happen in Pune. And again, Pune is a 3-hour bus ride. I've done it myself with Mumbai City. We've gone match day -1 over there, all fine. We've played at Balewadi. So that's fine. That can be done. And and depending on the teams, there are the possibilities that we might meet Al Nassr with Cristiano Ronaldo and Sadio Mane, or Al Hilal. All those opportunities are there. Just think, Cristiano Ronaldo playing in Pune. Then suddenly you see that stadium, which has never been filled up in its life, will be exploding literally because CR7 is playing on Indian soil. So therefore, it will be interesting to see who Mumbai City draw in the coming days in the Champions League when the draw is out. If I'm not wrong, I think Thursday is going to be the day that the draw is made.
Yes.
And so therefore, 24th. So therefore, I look forward to whoever is going to be playing there, and not only them but also Odisha and Mohun Bagan being in the AFC Cup. It's important that our clubs are successful at the continental level.
There's another question from Utkarsh. Was Vishal a one-season wonder? Looking at his previous years, he has never been a safe keeper. He's prone to mistakes and nowhere near top 3 in India, in my opinion. Maybe Igor was right to not call him up.
Chan?
I would not say that, because you can't say that seeing only one game and one mistake doesn't make Vishal a bad keeper. Last season he played to his potential, and he was one of the key members to help Mohun Bagan lift the ISL trophy. So I would not say that. I would not be so harsh regarding Vishal. Anybody can have a bad day. It's a game, and it is part of sports that we'll have a good days and we'll have bad days. But what I've seen of Vishal last season, I think he deserved that call up. He was not called for the final team because I think Gurpreet and Amrinder had that experience with them. So that's why they were in the part of the playing 11. He was not part of it, but that doesn't seem he also needs that exposure to grow as a keeper. And today, what he's trying to say, the goal what Mohan Bagan considered was due to him mainly. So this happens in football. So we should not be so judgmental that this guy is not playing the potential and he should not be called for the national camp. It happens in football in life. We do sometimes good, we do sometimes bad, but it's a game. And what Vishal did last season was phenomenal, and he deserved that call up. Nothing less, nothing more.
Some more comments on the Mohan Bagan match today. Facebook is outdated in the current time. They should stream YouTube instead of Facebook.
See, for a club, just to again, there are reasons most probably with licensing, with creating a paid platform. It is not so easy. There are reasons why you use certain platforms, and most probably, Meta was more proactive in getting working with Mohan Bagan and potentially with the broadcaster and with the licensee to get it on their platform. So, and that's the, it's sometimes it is sometimes not as easy as you think. I think yes, you would like matches to be in the best and the top quality, but sometimes it's not easy to produce. Having done broadcast over many years in Indian football, having seen how these guys put together a broadcast under sometimes very difficult conditions, and they're doing it at the moment. Shatadru was the commentator. I know the guys who produced it today. There are restrictions, and again, I think you should be, again, it sounds bad, but in the way I think fans should be happy that if these matches are broadcast, first of all, in the best possible sense that it's possible, and you have a good commentator who takes you through a game. I'd rather prefer that than having a top quality match with a broadcaster and a commentator who would think, where you think, oh God, why can't he shut up, or let's put it on mute. So therefore, the reality check, which I very often speak about.
Do you think comparatively easy teams being drawn with Mumbai City FC will be better or popular strong teams?
See, Mumbai City is one of the weakest teams in the draw, so therefore they'll get strong teams anyway, right? Despite the result last year, they're going to get, yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yes, Akshata.
Sorry. I think there's some technical issues, so the comments are not really, going up
Yeah.
on the screen. And so now we'll also be discussing the Durand Cup, guys. So please
Yes.
direct your question towards the Durand Cup. All three of you, thoughts on the quarterfinals, the teams that have made it to the quarterfinals?
I just want first to
just one
I don't know,
question.
sir.
Did you realize that yesterday the draw was actually out? So my question is that जो क्या हुआ? What happened there?
मेरा आपसे सेम क्वेश्चन है कि पहले वो लोगों ने पोर्ट का डिसाइड किया था कि पोर्ट 1 एंड पोर्ट 2, फिर उन्होंने लास्ट मोमेंट पे न्यूज ऐसी आ रही है कि लास्ट मोमेंट में चेंज करके उन्होंने सीधा ही क्लब्स को बता दिया कि ये फिक्सर्स होने वाले हैं. उस जो लास्ट कल रात को लीक हुआ वो इसीलिए हुआ. तो ऐसा है दुरांत कमेटी में.
And the question is why? How did they choose those pairings? I understood two Calcutta, two Guwahati pairings. Bus. But why this, why that, why this, why that? There needs to be, I would like to have an explanation. And I think, again, great matchups. But the point here is there is total confusion of how this draw came together.
एक पॉइंट मैं यहाँ पे बताना चाहूंगा कि जितने भी अभी रिसेंटली 2 साल में टूर्नामेंट हुए हैं, ओनली आईएसएल इज मतलब प्रोफेशनल वे में जो आप बोलते हो कि कोई कंपटीशन ऑर्गेनाइज होता है, चाहे सारे एस्पेक्ट ले लो आप, रेफरिंग, क्वालिटी, लीग का स्ट्रक्चर, कुछ भी बेस्ट तरीके से हुआ. हीरो सुपर कप में पूरा मैचअप था, जिस तरह से ट्रेनिंग ग्राउंड का था, सेम चीज आपको इसमें भी देखने को मिल रही है. दुरांत कप आप ये नहीं बोलेगे कि सक्सेसफुल तरीके से दुरांत कमेटी ने ऑर्गेनाइज किया है. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ फ्लॉज इसमें भी है. तो आई थिंक जो काफी सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि ये एएफएफ को दे देना चाहिए ये चीज ऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए, ये इसको दे देना चाहिए, ये तो हमने देख लिया कि जब भी इन लोगों के पास आया है, ये लोग मतलब उस एक्सपेक्टेशन पे या फिर जो आप एक स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ क्वालिटी की जो बात करते हो, जो हम ब्रॉडकास्टिंग की भी अभी बात कर रहे थे, वो नहीं डिलीवर कर पाते। ये तो फैक्ट बात है। अभी तक मतलब अभी तक तो इन लोगों ने नहीं किया है, सिवाय की एफएसडीएल के, जिन्होंने मतलब आईएसएल को एक प्रॉपर तरीके से, जो आप बाहर की लीग्स देखते हो, एक प्रोफेशनल वे में इसकी, जहाँ पे आपको सारी चीजें मतलब ऑन टाइम सब कुछ सही तरीके से देखने को मिले। इसके ऊपर क्या ख्याल है आपका रोमन सर?
See, I have done a Durand Cup, or I've done two Durand Cups many years back, 2006, 2007. The army has a certain way of working. If you do sports management and sports professionals running a tournament, a competition, they run it in a different way. So the point here is, if you see the army, how the way they're organizing, I mean, they did a trophy tour, there's that, everything, a lot of PR also with the Bengal government, with the Assam government, and, you know, across India, they did it. Pre-tournament, I would have said, very good job, right? Durand Trophy went across India. Lovely. But why 24 teams? First question. Why Kokrajhar as a venue, right? I know that Imphal was supposed to be a venue, and Imphal, of course, due to its current prevailing situation, is not an option. So how do I plan? How do I organize? How do I structure the whole thing? And of course, Army Red has moved into the quarterfinals. Congratulations to that for them. But my point here is, it's a preseason tournament. Does it make sense to have 24 teams playing in 6 groups? You know, first question. How did Bodoland FC get into this whole competition? Supposedly the club didn't exist a few weeks ago. So there's a lot of questions to be answered. And my biggest question is, how did this, and nobody has answered it so far, how did this draw of the quarter final happen? How can it be that there are certain people who are speculating? Then there is this article in the Bridge by Ashwati who put it out, and it was correct. And we were discussing it on Shine Show yesterday night, and someone actually said, hopefully the draw comes out different, to just prove a point that this was not legal. So it means that the draw was done yesterday. If it was a draw, we don't know. Or if people said, "Okay, ye dono khelo, ye dono khelo, ye dono," that's how we're going to do it. There needs to be, you know, I want accountability and a clarification, but I know that's not going to happen. So that's the reality in Indian football, na? Sadly.
Correct.
There's one question by Ashif. Dark horse in the Durand Cup quarterfinal, as for all three of you.
For me, is Northeast United. Because the
With-
way they perform.
And they have Army Red, na? So they have Army Red as well. So that gives them a chance. I want to scare Shayan a little bit and say Gokulam Kerala as well. So because I think,
but today they lost against Bengaluru B team.
वो ठीक है ना, Kerala Blasters also didn't beat Bangalore B, na?
I guess.
If you ask me, I think the dark horse for me for this tournament will be Chennai FC, because I think they have the spark in them. I think they can go. I think the match between them and Goa, the quarterfinal, that would be a cracker of a game. I'm expecting that game to. But somehow I feel that the tournament is planned that way, that after 90 minutes we will have a directly we'll go to the tiebreakers. I think that will give a team, underdog team, a better chance to pull off a victory. If you see that.
Kiran, since you mentioned Northeast United, there's a question by Anurag. Thoughts on Northeast United's performance in Durand Cup and what can we expect in the coming season with new staff and signings? So, क्या लग रहा है आपको ISL के पहले?
I think जिस तरह से उन्होंने, I think जो बड़ा चेंज आई थिंक जो देखने को मिला है, वो है मैनेजमेंट चेंज. आई थिंक जिस तरह से वो मतलब सीईओ लाए है बेंगलुरु एफसी का, एंड जिस तरह से मंदार राव मतलब उन्होंने जिस तरह से काम किया है, आई थिंक वो क्लियरली विजिबल है. आई थिंक प्रॉपर साइन आपको उनकी साइनिंग से ही पता चल जाएगा, जिस तरह की उनके इंडियन साइनिंग्स है एंड फॉरेन साइनिंग्स भी जिस तरह से हो रही है. एंड पेड्रो बेनाली इज अ गुड कोच. आई थिंक मतलब जिन भी क्लबों में वो रहे हैं, वो मतलब आप देखिए कि जो क्या बोलते हैं रेलीगेट वाली टीम्स होती है, उनको एटलीस्ट वो मिडिल लेवल तक तो वो पहुंचा ही देते हैं ना, भले टाइटल ना जिता पाए, लेकिन उस क्वालिटी के वो कोच है. तो एक्सपेक्टेशन देखिए नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनाइटेड के फैंस की और उन सब की मतलब काफी ज्यादा है इस सीजन से, जिस तरह से शुरुआत की है। एंड आप अब देखिए यंगस्टर जैसे पार्थिव गोगोई और उन सब ने, गौरव बोरा, उन सब ने जिस तरह से परफॉर्मेंस दी है, आई थिंक स्टैंड आउट परफॉर्मेंस। नॉर्थ ईस्ट की जो एक सबसे खास बात रही मेरे को ग्रुप स्टेज में लगी कि आप देखिए उनकी बैकलाइन में वो मतलब ऑल इंडियन बैकलाइन के साथ भी उन्होंने मतलब तगड़ी परफॉर्मेंस दी है। ऐसा नहीं है कि उनको फॉरेन सेंटर पे खिलाना ही पड़ा है हर मैच में। तो आई थिंक दैट्स द गुड साइन फॉर देम। एंड आई थिंक रिसेंटली एक और साइन उन्होंने कंप्लीट की है हामिद की, वो भी आई थिंक वेरी गुड साइनिंग। So Northeast United is making a good progress, and that's the really positive sign, particularly क्योंकि जिस तरह की फैन बेस वहाँ पे है, आई थिंक उन सब का भी मतलब वेट कर रहे थे, क्योंकि इतने पिछले साल तो पूरा मतलब एक खराब सपने जैसा ही है था जिस तरह से उन्होंने फिनिश किया था। तो आई थिंक न्यू मैनेजमेंट के आने से, नए कोच के आने से थोड़ी सी पॉजिटिविटी तो जरूर आई है, एंड वो परफॉर्मेंस में भी रिफ्लेक्ट हो रही है, क्योंकि कुछ प्लेयर्स पिछले सीजन वाले भी है लेकिन उनका परफॉर्मेंस में और ज्यादा बेटर हमें देखने को मिल रहा है।
Arnav, Shayan, would you like to add on to that?
Shan.
I would say Northeast. I think I was saying I have said it many a times when the season was going, when the team recruitment or build up was on process. I thought they had some certain plans while they were building this team. They got in very good players, players like Dinesh Singh. They got in. I think they outbeated many ISL teams to get Dinesh there. They then got in Falguni. They had Parthiv Gogoi in them, and I think they made a very good till now. What I've seen, they've made a very good foreign contingent. Ibsen Melo. Then I think the day before yesterday only they got in Yasir Hamid for Palestine. I think this team redeemed Talang was a very good signing they'd made. So this team for me was always there, and I think this team has the capability to go to the top six. I think in ISL, because this team is in the right track right now with proper management and proper. I think the coach who has a good pedigree as an experience as a coach, ably assisted by Nosat Musa in the background. I think this team looks quite good, and I think one of the dark horses for ISL also to go in the top six.
Arnav?
I think Northeast United were much better. You've seen that with Mandata Mane coming in and also Naushad Musa. A lot of boys from the last season's Bangalore FC Colts or B team, reserve team, whatever you want to call it, have joined. Shaggy already says Thoy Singh is one of those boys. Parthiv Gogoi, who's one of the most talented players in that squad, a former India Arrows player. He seems to be better than even last season, what he was showing. So therefore, Northeast United surely, and of course, holding FC Goa to a 2-2 draw, who are one of the high-profile teams this season, and they would be one of the top 3-4 teams to expect under Manolo Marquez. They announced yesterday Carl McHugh is joining them as well. That in itself was a good result, and therefore, yeah, those two teams, Mohammedan Sporting nearly got in, missed out on one goal, would have thrown out Mohun Bagan out of the competition. East Bengal winning against Mohun Bagan also is an upset win. I think Cheyenne has been smiling since then, and deservedly so. It was a deserving win. It was not a fluke win for East Bengal. But Mohun Bagan's main task, I had said early on in the season, was to get into the AFC Cup, and that is mission accomplished. They are in the quarters now. Yeah, coming to the quarters, I think it's the matchups are very, very interesting. Just to go through the matchups once, to just think, it opens on the 24th. All matches will be 6 p.m. kickoffs. The first one, Army Red versus Northeast United in Guwahati on the 24th on Thursday. Friday we'll see East Bengal FC against Gokulam Kerala FC at 6 p.m. in Kolkata. Saturday has FC Goa against Chennai FC. Besides Mumbai City, only team getting 9 points. And then the Super Sunday, the first matchup of the season, which I think everyone should look forward to, Mumbai City Football Club versus Mohun Bagan Super Giant, Sunday evening blockbuster at the Salt Lake Stadium. That's a real test. And Mumbai City has impressed. I'm very happy to see what Mumbai City has done. They've built on what they've done last season. I thought Neguera is doing much better in that deeper position at the moment. Greg Stewart is there. Changte is still continued. Pereira Diaz is continued. Akash Mishra seems to be there as if he's been there. And again, Mohun Bagan is still sluggish. They've not played to the potential that the names possess. And therefore, I hope that it would be interesting to see how they sort of figure out a way to get the best out of the squad. Otherwise, it could be a tough one for them coming on Sunday.
I want to also quickly, before we get deeper into the Durand Cup, I just want to quickly take this question by Shaggy, which is, can you shed light on the AFC Women's Champions League in 2023 and 2024?
Yeah, so there was this sort of continental test cases over the last few years that the AFC was trying to figure out what is the best way of starting a Champions League. So they were looking at how could the Champions League be built, which countries wanted to play in it, which countries did not want to play in it, don't think that it's viable. Again, it's going to start in 2024. So again, this season is another one of those where they're trying it out with the AFC sort of Women's Continental Cup. So the point here is they're trying to create 12 clubs in a round robin setup, one venue, three groups of four. The top two sides automatically go in. The two best third position teams also get into the quarterfinals. And a quarterfinal, semis, and finals are one-off matches. So that's the format that's been proposed: 24-25, 25-26, 26-27, and 27-28. So on a 4-year cycle. And they want to grow it. So I think this is another effect of the growth of women's football in Asia. Also the positives for the Women's World Cup, which is just finished over the weekend with Spain winning the trophy. So therefore it's good. Gokulam Kerala are again going to be representing India. They are the strongest team in Indian women's football at the moment. So therefore that's a good sign for Indian women's football across Asia, because again, even I'm hearing a lot of buzz and noise that the Saudis want to replicate in the women's game what they've done in the men's game, which I found very, very interesting with all the topics around women and Saudi Arabia in this world, that they actually are willing to bring in some of the best female footballers in the world into Saudi Arabia and play a women's version of the Saudi Pro League. So that will be a very, very interesting one to see. And again, Monika Stab is the head coach of the Saudi women's team, a very, very experienced German coach who's also done some insightful sessions here in India for FIFA and the German FA. So therefore, let's see that when Shaggy, I'm interested to see follow-on question regarding schedule of the IWL. They will have to accommodate that. They would have to allow Gokulam Kerala to move out, play those 3 matches wherever it is at a centralized venue, and potentially also figure in those quarterfinals, semis, and finals for Gokulam Kerala. So that will be an interesting one if the 8-team IWL is played as planned, scheduled as a home and away competition this year.
So now I'll go back to the Durand Cup. There's a question by Harry Bhaika Agent, which is thoughts on BFC team in Durand Cup. They remain undefeated. So Harry, I'll start with you because.
Sorry, क्या question था उसका?
Thoughts on BFC team in Durand Cup.
Durand, I think मतलब काफी इम्प्रेसिव परफॉर्मेंस दिया है उन्होंने, जिस तरह से केरला ब्लास्टर की ए टीम के सामने उन्होंने 2-2 से ड्रॉ निकाला, एंड जिस तरह की यंगस्टर आज हमने देखा, मतलब रोबिन यादव का वो फ्री किक, मतलब आई थिंक ही इज करंटली द बेस्ट फ्री किक टेकर. हमने मतलब उनको संतोष ट्रॉफी में भी खेलते हुए देखा था, एंड उसी के चलते बेंगलुरु की जो फर्स्ट टीम है उसको भी उनको साथ जोड़ दिया गया, एंड जिस तरह की यंगस्टर को मौका दिया, आई थिंक दैट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग फ्रॉम बेंगलुरु. एंड आई थिंक दूसरे क्लबों के लिए भी आई थिंक ये सीखने जैसी बात है, जिस तरह से बेंगलुरु एफसी अपने आप को ऑपरेट करता है, एंड अपनी जो एक क्या बोलते कि प्रोडक्ट है उसको प्लेयर को अपनी एकेडमी से जिस तरह से चांसेस दे रहा है, आई थिंक दैट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग. एंड आई थिंक तीनों ही मैचेस में मतलब आप देखिए कि दे हैव बीन ब्रिलियंट, चाहे उनकी बी टीम खेल रही हो, एंड आप इंडिया अंडर 17 के भी काफी सारे प्लेयर्स को मौका मिला है, जैसे कि साहिल पुनिया है, उसके अलावा यहाँ पे रिकी मिते, थोकचोम, लाल पेखलुआ, इन सबको भी मौका मिला है, एंड आई थिंक गुड प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर दिस यंगस्टर, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पे हर वक्त यही बात रहती है कि भाई 17 से 21 साल के जो एज ग्रुप है उसमें कोई कंपटीशन नहीं है, तो दिस इज अ गुड थिंग कि भाई यहाँ पे जो ये सारे बी टीम के प्लेयर है, आप देखिए अभी किसी भी आईएसएल की बी टीम के लिए एक ही कंपटीशन बच चुका है, वो है सिर्फ रिलायंस यूथ डेवलपमेंट, रिलायंस यूथ डेवलपमेंट। उसके अलावा कोई कंपटीशन ही नहीं है इंडिया में उनके पास। आई लीग से आपने उनको मना कर दिया, आई लीग 2 से मना कर दिया, तो ये प्लेयर खेलेंगे कहाँ पे? आपको पता है रेगुलरली आईएसएल में भी मौका नहीं मिलने वाला उनको, वो तो मतलब बेंच पे ही रहने वाले हैं। तो दिस इज अ गुड थिंग कि आपको दुरांत कप जैसे कंपटीशन में आपको आईएसएल लेवल की टीमों के सामने इतने यंगस्टर को मौका मिल रहा है एंड परफॉर्मेंस भी दे रहे हैं, जिस तरह से उन्होंने गेम प्ले भी दिखाया है। आई थिंक दैट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग। एंड बेंगलुरु एफसी ऑलवेज आई थिंक जिस तरह से अपने यूथ को आई थिंक चांसेस देती है, इसीलिए भाई उनको क्या बोलते हैं शिवा शक्ति मिला है, रोशन सिंह मिला है अपनी एकेडमी से। आई थिंक दैट्स दी वन ऑफ द रीजन फॉर देयर सक्सेस कि इतने 10 साल के स्पान में अगर आप देखिए किसी क्लब ने जिस तरह से फैन बेस भी बनाया है, वो भी आई थिंक एक दूसरे क्लबों के लिए एक एग्जाम्पल सेट किया है कि ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको मतलब 80 साल 90 साल लग जाएंगे अपनी उस तरह की कम्युनिटी बिल्ड करने।
Kiran, while we're talking on the fan base, अभी recently BSC ने अपना memberships भी निकाले,
मेंबरशिप
right? So can you throw some light, Arnava and Shine, also that कौन से ऐसे clubs हैं who are doing similar work or are trying to expand on? Arnava, you're on mute.
Oh, no, the mute.
Sorry, I think all the clubs are trying to do something regarding their fan bases. Some of them have bigger fan bases. I think if you see, of course, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Mohammedan Sporting historically have fans. We've seen with the ISL coming in, Kerala Blasters having a very, very loyal fan base. The other teams like FC Goa with the Gores, very, very loyal. The West Coast Brigade with Mumbai City is very, very loyal. Even the Highlanders Brigade, Northeast United, I think if Northeast gets some results, they will start coming back to the grounds. So again, it will be interesting to see. Hyderabad is trying to do stuff. Odisha is trying to do stuff. Chennai and the Marina Machans. So all of the teams are doing. Some of them are more successful. Some of them are less successful. So therefore, it is a question of what you do. Again, Kerala was craving for a football team, for an entity to fulfill the desire, the love, the passion for football in the state, and the Blasters have filled that void, which earlier sort of say FC Cochin did that, in 97, 98 when they came in, they signed I.M. Vijayan, signed Joe Polancheri, huge hype in the second NFL in those days. But the club didn't last so long. So therefore, the Blasters have been able to keep this for 9 years. I hope they keep it for the future as well. And again, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, if you see at the moment, East Bengal fans very excited, beating Mohun Bagan after 4 years, that they are hopeful for a better season. And of course, Mohun Bagan, the fans are hoping for the maximum. So therefore, and again, BFC has shown in a lot of ways what can be done. Again, Mumbai City does a lot of things which I feel is good, but again, they don't speak about it. I think some of the clubs don't speak about it. Certain clubs do speak about it on what they're doing in regard to fan engagement or fan interactions.
Sagar, since you're listening to us, can you also please tell us how the fans of BFC have reacted to the overall memberships that the club has taken out this season? Kumar has made a point. Mohun Bagan FC players' fitness is not up to the mark. The intensity and passing is not up to the basic ISL level. Mumbai City FC have tried 3-5-2 formation for the Champions League against Army team.
Again, Mohun Bagan is still in pre-season, and I think I said it on Shayan's show yesterday that I feel Mohun Bagan's biggest problem at the moment is how to integrate the players while your season is already somewhat on. So, Mumbai City wisely went to Thailand. Odisha at the moment is gone to Thailand, has sent their juniors. Shayan calls them the C team. So therefore, again, and again, and Mohun Bagan, East Bengal have a different kind of pressure when it comes to not only fans, but also the media as well as a factor. And Anurag is asking a very valid question. I don't think Mohun Bagan has figured out its starting 11. I think Mohun Bagan has an advantage. They don't need to figure out a starting 11. I think they need to have a rotational system, because otherwise, if you say, listen, Cummings and Petratos are playing and Sadiko's on the bench, you've got a problem. Or if Petratos or Cummings or Bumu is on the bench. Therefore, again, I think man management for Juan Ferrando will be the toughest, and I think he needs to find a good rotational system to give not only his foreigners but also we've got a number of Indian national team players in the squad. I don't want to see that suddenly Manveer or Sahal or Liston Ashik spending time on the bench because there's no spot for them. That risk is there this season. So therefore, I hope that he finds the rotational system, and I hope that they figure it out, because then it should be an interesting and exciting league.
इसमें इसमें एक पॉइंट मैं ऐड करना चाहूंगा। आज ड्यूरिंग द लाइव में जब मैच लाइव कर रहा था तो 3-1 की विक्ट्री के बाद भी आप देखिए मोहन बगान फैंस का रिएक्शन क्या था कि ये तो भाई इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर की क्वालिटी की वजह से हम जीते, जॉन फर्नांडो की टैक्टिक्स की वजह से नहीं जीते है। तो वहां पे अलग लेवल का प्रेशर है, चाहे आप मैच जीतो हारो, फैंस को चाहिए मतलब वो आपसे क्या बोलते हैं कि सेटिस्फाई नहीं होंगे कुछ भी आप कर लो। तो वो तो अभी भी चाहते हैं कि जॉन फर्नांडो सेक हो जाना चाहिए, वो मतलब वो उस पेडिग्री का कोच ही नहीं, जबकि उसने मतलब आपको लास्ट ईयर आईएसएल कप जीता दिया है। उसको भी वो लोग चाहते हैं कि भाई वो अभी नहीं हैंडल कर पाएगा टीम। तो सर की बात बिल्कुल सही है कि ईस्ट बंगाल मोहन बगान के कोचेस या फिर प्लेयरों के ऊपर एक एक्स्ट्रा मतलब जो बर्डन होता है वो है एक्सपेक्टेशन का।
करेक्ट एकदम मतलब ये तो है। मतलब इफ यू सी जुआन फर्नांडो करेक्टली सेड बाय हैरी, ही इज इन ट्रेमेंडस प्रेशर। आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ द मेंबर्स ग्रुप ऑलवेज सेइंग दैट this match was very crucial for him, for Mohun Bagan to win this game for his future in Mohun Bagan. So they won it, so that's good for him. But he's in tremendous pressure after the Derby loss. Again, there were more pressure creeping in. I think these 2 wins has given him some sort of relief. So let's see how
Akshata, if you're seeing it, Harry Bhai ka agent ka thing, there is a tweet out from Mohammedan Sporting who've just sacked Merajuddin Wadu. So breaking while we're on show, why to to pucho, and just saw it on Twitter as well. This actually just popped up when that message came in. I don't know. Miraj is part of that generation of players with Renedy, with Clifford, Samir Nayak, Stephen Dias, very talented, hardworking, a very very hardworking guy. I don't know if they were expecting Mohammedan to qualify for the Durand Cup Quarterfinals. You missed out by 1 goal. Yeah.
बट सर एक बात तो आपको माननी पड़ेगी कि द मोस्ट एक्साइटिंग फुटबॉल हैज बीन प्लेड बाय मोहम्मदन एसी। मुंबई सिटी के सामने भी मैं मानूंगा कि जिस तरह की फुटबॉल उन्होंने खेली थी, आई डोंट थिंक सो कि कोई आईएसएल लेवल की टीम भी उस तरह की फुटबॉल का इस टाइम पे मतलब क्या बोलती कि वो खेल पाती।
नहीं हैरी मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ इसमें। मैं उस दिन मैच में था, एक्चुअली मैं गया था स्टेडियम में। मुंबई सिटी एफसी जो फर्स्ट 30 मिनट्स में गेम खेला था ना, वो इंटेंसिटी लेवल उन्होंने ड्रॉप कर दिया था। दैट्स व्हाई दे केम इन द मैच। they were nowhere close to मुंबई सिटी एफसी। मुंबई सिटी एफसी अगर जो उस लेवल में, अगर जो फर्स्ट 30 मिनट्स का लेवल में जो खेलते हैं, जैसे उन्होंने केरला ब्लास्टर्स को खिलाया था लास्ट आईएसएल पे, और जैसे खिलाया था फर्स्ट 30 मिनट्स वो अगर खेलता तो आई थिंक 6-7 गोल का होता है। उन्होंने अपना टेम्पो गिरा दिया फॉर द, ये होता है, दे डू इट। आई थिंक डेस बकिंगहम का ये स्टाइल है। अगर आप देखोगे लास्ट आईएसएल में, इफ आई रिमेंबर, जो हम लोग कोलकाता में हारे थे अगेंस्ट मुंबई सिटी एफसी ईस्ट बंगाल 3-0, 60 मिनट में देवर आप 3-0। अगर चाहते तो 6-7 गोल हो सकता था, बट उन्होंने नए प्लेयर को चांस दिया, एंड उनका एक प्रोसेस है ये।
But Mohun Bagan, Mumbai City has done it, as you said, at home. They scored many games. They scored 4 goals in the first half an hour, 35 minutes. They finish off their opponents. Then, as I said, he gives other players a chance. But the team knows that if need be, we can up the tempo. And that's a dangerous quality that Mumbai City actually have. That theoretically, any team that they play against, that they can score 4 goals. It was Kerala Blasters. It was a BFC. Those kind of teams. It was the only one which was really exciting was the match against last season. They were called ATK Mohun Bagan. The 2-2 draw, which was, I think, one of the best games of the last season in Mumbai. An exceptional game, crazy game, which could have ended 3-3, 4-4, 5-5. But again, Mumbai City is that. But Mohammedan Sporting parting ways with Mehraj, I don't know if something has happened between the officials and Mehraj, but I would have said just not even 2 months. Why would you fire your coach now? So seriously, guys. And Mohammedan is falling back into those old sort of patterns of Kolkata patterns, which I think Shayan knows very, very well of. Yeah, that's a sad thing to see.
So I think I don't know if we just if we can just maybe take predictions from all three of you about the four quarterfinals. First is Indian Army Red and Northeast United FC. Predictions.
Northeast.
Northeast
You
is
want to
favorite.
predict the scoreline also?
Northeast.
How many goals?
2-0.
I I I
Uh,
I will go with a 3-1 victory. 3-1 victory to Northeast United.
yeah, I would. Yeah, 2-0 or maybe even a 3-0 for Northeast, I would say.
Next is East Bengal and Gokulam Kerala.
2-1 East Bengal.
1-0 East Bengal.
Same. My prediction
1-0.
is also same. 2-1 to East Bengal.
Shine, yours was not clear.
1-0. 1-0 East Bengal. 1-0.
Then FC Goa and Chennai and FC.
High scoring game.
Oh, you have to
Yes,
predict a winner.
exactly. High
What is
scoring.
high scoring?
4
I,
to Goa.
mine would be 3-2 Goa.
3-2.
3-2, yes.
2-1 Chennai.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. We
Then
have this
the-
all on tape, so we can discuss it after the quarterfinals, huh?
okay.
And then last is the biggest one, Mumbai City and Mohan Bagan.
Don't ask the question. Na?
ये तो
At the moment, if I look at how the two teams have shaped up so far, I would think 3-1 Mumbai City.
Kidding.
I would say 2-1 to Mumbai City.
Akshata, I will say I think this game will be decided on penalty shootout. What I think.
Okay.
Okay, Akshata, can you get rid of Shayan out of the channel, please? Thank you.
But what I think,
तो पेनल्टीज में कौन जीतेगा फिर? पेनल्टीज में कौन जीतेगा?
हाँ, वो तो नहीं बोला ना.
Miss
Yeah.
कौन करेगा?
वो
That will be that is the one question that I will.
वो उस हिसाब से मैं बोलूंगा मोहन बगान हैज अ अपर हैंड इन पेनल्टीज इफ अगर बोल तो कोलकाता में है मैच आई थिंक उस हिसाब से आई थिंक मोहन बगान कैन अपसेट दैट डे बिकॉज होम में खेल रहे मोहन बगान सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज आई थिंक व्हाट वी आर नॉट डिस्कसिंग इज द होम एडवांटेज द कोलकाता क्लब्स आर हैविंग इन द डूरंड कप दैट इज अ
But I
very
think
big point.
I think if you see how Mumbai City played against Mohammedan, na, I don't, and you've seen last season against East Bengal as well. I think and against a team like Mumbai City, home advantage, does it really count?
No, if in Kolkata Salt Lake Stadium, because they played Mohammedan and Kishore Bharati, that was a different stadium, different place. In Salt Lake, it's a bit different. And Mohun Bagan has a good track record of late in Salt Lake. So if you see that ways, if you remember last season also, Mohun Bagan went ahead 1-0 in the ISL game in Salt Lake. So that ways I'm saying that Mohun Bagan has a good hunt. It's a happy hunting ground for Mohun Bagan. So that's why I'm saying this game would be decided on penalties. If it go to the penalties, Mohun Bagan has an advantage here.
And now the big question that somebody has also asked in the comments, which was who will win the Durand Cup?
I तो ऑलरेडी मैंने तो स्टार्टिंग से ही प्रेडिक्शन दिया है either it will be FC गोवा और मुंबई सिटी बट अभी क्योंकि इन लोगों ने सेमीफाइनल के ड्रॉ भी इस तरह से रखे हैं कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडियन आर्मी एंड गोकुलम ईस्ट बंगाल के बीच में सेमीफाइनल 1 होगा और FC गोवा चेन्नई और इसका मुंबई सिटी और क्या बोलते हैं मोहन बगान का सेमीफाइनल 2 होगा तो my prediction is I think मुंबई सिटी FC मुंबई सिटी एंड नॉर्थ ईस्ट का मैं फाइनल एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ
Arnava?
I think what I've seen so far, again, it's now knockouts, so that makes it interesting again. It starts at 0-0. But I think if I see the group stages, I think Mumbai City were the best team so far in this competition. And I think if they can continue to some level of what they've shown, they are the team to beat in this competition.
Shayan?
I would say we can have East Bengal and Mohun Bagan final again. It's possible. It's possible. Let's. It's possible. There's a chance for another Kolkata derby this time in Durand Cup.
तो नहीं सर, आपको आपको नहीं लगता कि इन लोगों ने ये सोचा होगा कि अभी भी हम क्वार्टर फाइनल में भी अगर ईस्ट बंगाल मोहन बगान कर देते तो लोगों को पता चल जाता कि ये लोग फिक्स किया हुआ है, जबकि लोगों को तो पहले से ही पता था कि भाई आपने तो ऐसे बैठ के ही वो किया है ड्रॉ, सारे ग्रुप भी ऐसे बनाए थे, तो ये इसमें
That could have
एक
been
बार कर
a
देते तो क्या होता था। हाँ।
wise business decision भी होता viewership
Wise,
ज़्यादा।
wiser.
Okay, I have a very controversial question. Not very controversial, but I want your opinions. I was discussing with Hireen also before the live started about the refereeing in the Durand Cup because काफी लोगों ने ट्विटर पे भी लिखा है कुछ तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा I mean there were funny missed judgments by the referees.
मैं ऐड कर देता हूँ इसमें, रेफरी कमेंट्री पिच।
So overall,
Fine,
like,
sir.
what are your views? And apart from the views, I know I also want to know from you, like, these are things that we repeatedly say कि होना चाहिए. People say कि VAR आ जाएगा, तो things will change, can improve for Indian football. But we also see, of course, we can't compare it to Premier League. We also see things happening there. There is VAR available, but refereeing errors happen in a different way altogether, not as compared to what's happening in Indian football. But what are the solutions? Because there has been no official statement by the AIFF also acknowledging कि ये इतने big, like these
No,
are
but no. So first of all, I think the AFF cannot acknowledge that these mistakes are happening. I think that would be the first mistake that the federation would do, because it opens the Pandora's box. I don't know if you saw that tweet today from Ivan Vukomanovic, who's trying to still justify something which I clearly, from my understanding of the laws of football, that it was right. And I go back to that whole point that if you walk off the pitch, the punishment needs to be so hard that anybody else who's just thinking a second about walking off the pitch will not even think about it. Very, very honest. The referees are as good or as bad, and we discussed it yesterday on Shahin's show. I said the game has become much, much faster over the last 5 years. It's become much more physical. Certain things you will not be able to see with your eyes. Again, the Mohammedan Sporting one where the defender doesn't touch the player and he falls over literally. Again, if you're standing in a bad angle, it will look to you that he touched the player. So the point is the referees are being trained. The referees are trying to get better, but this will take 3 to 5 years' time. So if you expect the referees who are currently there, they will improve. But the game has become much, much faster. Premier League, Onana, best example. You have VR. You had VR. Germany was eliminated because the VR lining was not right in saying that Japan ball was out of the game. So VR, if people think that VR will solve all the problems, no, it will not. Because there's this human element which is still there. A human at the end is deciding either in the VR room or on the pitch looking at a picture.
बट सर जस्ट एक पॉइंट मैं नहीं आपकी बात से एग्री करता हूँ कि वीआर का आने का मतलब ये नहीं कि 100% रेफरी सही हो जाएगा। लास्ट आईएसएल में आपने देखा होगा क्लियर, वो क्या बोलते कि आधे फुट से वो लोग ऑफसाइड था फिर भी गोल काउंट होते। तो ये सारी एरर तो आपकी मतलब आप एक रिप्लाई में तो आप क्लियरली पता चल जाएगा कि हाँ भाई चलो ये क्लियर पेनल्टी। इसमें भी आप देखें कि दुरंत कप में हैदराबाद वर्सेस चेन्नई एफसी में वो क्लियर पेनल्टी नहीं था, फिर भी 2-3 ऐसे इंस्टेंस हुए कि वहां पे आपने पेनल्टी दे दी। तो जो ऐसे बड़े एरर है उसको तो आप एटलीस्ट कम कर सकते हो ना। मैं क्लोज कॉल की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं।
ओनाना इज नॉट अ बिग एरर मैन यूनाइटेड का वुल्वरहैम्पटन के साथ।
नहीं प्रीमियर लीग की यहाँ की
women's world cup final, that decision to award Spain the penalty, it took them 3 to 4 minutes. It is evident. ऐसे करके and then she's touching it with her hand. Walsh did that, and they're still taking the time. So if you think, anybody thinks that VR is a wonder which will change things, you will rectify certain mistakes, but we will still have discussion points of errors. The Mohammedan Sporting one will be sorted. Again, German Cup, in the German Cup, there were messes. First round, there is no VR because the small teams don't have VR. And everyone needs to understand VR. I hope VR comes sooner than later. VR Lite would be again, better than nothing. But the clubs are bleeding money. Huh? So the point is, will FSDL pick up the cost and share it with the clubs or with the broadcaster, with the federation? Who's going to pick up the cost? That is your simple question. Mumbai City, Mohun Bagan most probably would say, ha, bring. Northeast United will say, no, we don't want to pay for it. So we have to look in the context of realities. So
I also have
नहीं नहीं वो तो
I think that is my concern is that if we think VR is going to be a wonder, again, look at the Messi penalties at the World Cup. Most of them were soft penalties. Right? I could go on with the list. Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, still mistakes were made. So therefore, if we believe, and again, for VR, we need referees who are trained on the system. I saw that here in Germany in the Bundesliga, the referees needed 2 years. Again, and that's an interesting one, that current referees are still sitting there in the VR room. So they were doubling up as a match referee, but also doubling up as a VR referee. So, so therefore, I don't know. And again, we need to find, again, I think the AFF needs to take a strong stand with this whole criticism against referees and start finding them. It's the same thing what's happened. Akshada's favorite coach, Mr. Klopp, has been fined multiple times now by the Premier League for his criticism of referees. And again, I love Jurgen Klopp as a coach, but look at him. He's a psychopath when he's pitch side, right? So these are realities. And again, why do we love football? Because there's the emotion attached to it, right? We are emotional. I get emotional. I said stuff on Sunday to the referee which I should have not said in our local game, and because he was rubbish, right? In my opinion. Am I right? Most probably yes. But will it change anything? No, it will not. I just got agitated and most probably lost a few minutes of my life because the heart pumped a little too hard. So therefore,
बट नहीं सर, तो आप वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो तो फिर रिएक्शन भी तो आएगा ना उस तरह से, तो वो मतलब उसको फिर पनिशमेंट की क्या जरूरत है? तो इमोशन है, तो हमारा भी तो इमोशन है कि इसने भाई हमारे क्लब के लिए, जैसे आपने क्लब का एग्जांपल दिया, तो क्लब भी बोलेगा भाई तुम्हारी वजह से मैं मैच हार गया, तो वो भी बात है, तो वो भी तो इमोशन ही आया ना सामने.
हाँ, but referees are then taken off schedules, छुट्टी देते हैं, उसके बाद ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, then they come back after 2-3 weeks. If I take out, again, reality, if I take out all referees who do mistakes, I don't have any referees left.
हाँ, तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि आप उसके लिए एक्सेप्ट, मैं मतलब आप बोल रहे हो कि वो ह्यूमन एरर होती है, तो हम भी मानते हैं कि चलो ह्यूमन एरर होती रहेगी, उसमें कोई वाली बात नहीं है, लेकिन फिर तो रिएक्शन भी तो आते हैं इस तरह से, मतलब
human reaction.
I also have a follow-up question. How much time does it go in training a referee for VAR or VAR light? दोनों का अलग.
इसमें सर इसमें एक ऐड करूंगा कि जो अभी रिसेंटली आसियान लीग में 3 आई थिंक मलेशिया ने और रिसेंटली वियतनाम ने भी वीआर लाइट चालू किया, तो उसमें तो उन लोगों को सिर्फ आई थिंक सऊदी में काफी कम ट्रेनिंग में उन्होंने चालू कर दिया है. आई थिंक 1 आध महीने की भी नहीं हुई है, उससे पहले आई थिंक 15 दिन का कैंप के साथ उन्होंने मतलब चालू कर दिया है.
See, the question is, what system are you going to use? First question. Second question is, what is our referees pool? So our problem is our referees pool is also limited. And to answer Anurag's question regarding do they lack match practice? No, because Pranjal Banerjee, for example, at the moment is officiating in the CFL, in the Kolkata Football League. So these guys actually, if you see across a season locally, nationally, the coach, the referees in Kolkata or in Bangalore or in Goa, the ones in Mumbai, they're officiating enough. They've got, some of them have AFC, FIFA badges, which means that they do Champions League, AFC Cup, international matches, all of that. So yes, but again, the aim needs to be of the federation to reduce the number of mistakes and also reduce the number of blatant mistakes. I think physical fitness is one topic that we need to talk about. So therefore, it is a very, very, very clear thing that a training is being given to the referees, but again, the standard will not go up so quickly.
It takes some time.
I'm just getting one second. I'm just getting one second. Someone's sending me a WhatsApp. So there is FIFA has set VR providers, and concerned FAs can ask for help from FIFA. Thank you.
बट
अच्छा,
सर
and
आई डोंट थिंक सो कि इस सीजन तो वीआर आने का कोई चांस है, मतलब आई डोंट थिंक
I
सो
don't
कि
think
यहाँ पे
so.
इतना
Then
सा
otherwise,
रिसर्च.
referee ka training would have been done by now, na?
हाँ एग्जैक्टली.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody who are watching the live, please subscribe to all the 4 channels. And please keep showing your support to us and give us your feedback as well, where you think that we can improve and what all topics you think we can talk about. So, before we end tonight's session, any closing remarks, anything that you want to expect from the upcoming, or you're expecting from the upcoming matches of the Durand Cup? I'll start with Harry.
आई थिंक डेफिनेटली अगर लास्ट सीजन से कंपेयर करेंगे तो और ज्यादा एक्साइटिंग दुरान कप, और फैन एंगेजमेंट भी ज्यादा दिख रही है कंपेरेटिव टू अगर लास्ट सीजन की बात करें तो. आई थिंक फैंस ग्राउंड में भी आ रहे हैं, एंड उसके अलावा जो ऑल ओवर दी मतलब जनरल भी जो लोगों की वो है आई थिंक एक्सपेक्टेशन या फिर जो क्यूरियोसिटी वो भी ज्यादा है, तो वो एक अच्छी बात है. एंड दुरान कप आई थिंक धीरे धीरे ग्रो हो रहा है, एंड डेफिनेटली आई थिंक इसी तरह से कंटिन्यू रहेगा तो आई थिंक बेस्ट. आई थिंक इसको मतलब प्री सीजन टूर्नामेंट के तौर पे ही देखना चाहिए. आई थिंक जो अब इसका एक प्लेटफॉर्म सेट हो चुका है तो आई थिंक इट्स अ बेस्ट वे फॉर ऑल द आईएसएल क्लब्स एंड आई लीग क्लब्स. एंड लेट्स होप कि नेक्स्ट ईयर हमको आई लीग के भी और ज्यादा क्लब्स देखने को मिले. मैं चाहूंगा ना कि सिर्फ आईएसएल के क्लबों को ही मौका मिले, आई लीग के क्लब भी ज्यादा होंगे तो और ज्यादा मजा आएगा दुरान कप में. एंड जो कुछ है मतलब जैसे गोकुलम केरला आ गई, जैसे मोहम्मद अनसी ने अच्छा खेला, या फिर उस तरह के मैचेस तो फिर और भी ज्यादा फैंस को भी फैंस एंगेजमेंट भी ज्यादा होगा. एंड आई थिंक क्वार्टर फाइनल इज परफेक्टली set it up, and Mohun Bagan versus Mumbai City is the I think third D match for the quarter final, and I think really exciting to see who is going to take this time Durand Cup.
I would also like to quickly take up Shaggy's question, which is September scheduling. The national camp duration is also being reduced from 30 days.
Another 1 hour live. Another 1 hour live.
But
So
again, we spoke about this 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks
Yes,
ago.
5 weeks back, right?
Still no solution.
No solution.
And this
And we
is what
don't
I
know the
said.
solution.
No, there is a see. There was a solution. You go to the Asian Games, but say I'll play with an under 21 team.
लेकिन
But
सर
we
मेरे
need
को
some
ये समझ में
commitments.
नहीं आया. नहीं मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं आया. अभी 25 अगस्त को इन्होंने कैंप रखा है, फिर भी 2 ही क्लब एग्री हुए हैं, एफसी गोवा एंड मोहन बगान. बाकी सबने तो अभी कुछ नहीं बोला. जब इन्होंने 12 अगस्त को रखा था तब आपने मैंने ये तभी भी बोला था कि आप बैकअप प्लान तो रखो कि आप आई लीग के कुछ अंडर 23 प्लेयर को भाई कैंप स्टार्ट तो करवा दो आप एटलीस्ट. ये लोग नहीं आएंगे तो आप उसके साथ चले जाना, तो एटलीस्ट वो तो इंडिया मतलब
even B team se
हाँ.
nahi de rahe na. So that's the problem is because
हाँ.
again, what is happening? Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, and are playing Kolkata League, playing Durand, playing AFC Cup. BFC is playing with their B team in the competition. They will not release. Mumbai and Odisha are preparing for continental competitions. They will not release. I'm interested to see that Mohun Bagan has given an okay, but who will they release?
सुमित राठी.
So yeah, but even Sumit Rathi ko nahi release karega na. They need him in
नहीं
Kolkata
करेगा.
League.
हाँ,
So
नहीं करेगा.
that's the problem na. The problem here is what if, again, putting Sunil, Gurpreet and Sandesh into the Asian Games squad for me is a wrong step.
और इगो स्टेमिक और आईएसएल कोचेस का वो मीटिंग तो अभी क्या बोलते हैं इनफाइनाइट टाइम के लिए पोस्टपोन हो गया.
No, the coaches don't want to
नहीं
meet
आया.
Igor Stimac, na. The coaches don't
Yes.
want to meet him because the coach is doing PR and conversations via social media. I should pick up the phone and talk to Des, to Juan, to Manolo, whoever it is. Speak to everyone.
In fact,
You are trying to
Unauda and
instigate fans. I have said this again and again. The federation and the coaching staff and the national team department needs to interact. You need to find common ground. It's in the interest of Indian football. But what has been happening will also now affect our preparations for the Asian Cup, because clubs will say, no, let's play the ISL as long as we can until end of December. I will look at the FIFA window and release my players 5 days before. And I always bring up the example of Yoon-min Song, who has left Tottenham even 1 day before a match. He's played a match in London, got onto the flight, and then the next day played in the Asian Cup. Again, Yoon-min Song is one of the best players in the world. That's a different topic. But again, I needed to, my camp in June and July, my May, June camp in June and July, my matches were this was the most important window. What did I do? I only played Sunil Chhetri. How many minutes? Ishan Pendata didn't play, he was injured. And again, also going public with this whole Asian Games, the government is not happy about this. If you ask, the fans are celebrating it, but I know that there are people within the government not happy. You know that there was conversation between the secretary and the coach after his 2 red cards. The one against Pakistan has become a meme. People make fun about it. Does he realize that? Focus on the football. Do your job as football. Don't play politics.
And it's the loss of Indian football only, because
it's harming it. It's not loss. It's a harming Indian football.
Yeah. Social media should not be the first step. It should be, I think, perhaps the last resort.
It should not be a step at all. Your conversations happen in back rooms, behind the scene. Nobody needs to know what kind of conversations are happening. Coordination needs to happen. And it's both the federation and the national team department and the national coach who should have those conversations. But I don't need to know. You don't need to know. Hiren and Shayan don't need to know. If it's successful, then you say, hey, listen, we've sorted this. No. Correct. You are now saying a 10-day camp. Clubs will not release. Mumbai City and Odisha will not release players. Because they say we are preparing. And again, we're talking about the fact that it's an under-23 competition. So there's no compulsion. Even the Asian Games is an under-24 competition. There's no compulsion to release players. I should have used, especially the Asian Games, as a tournament to give players who've got limited time to play. And even if I only played 3 matches, that 3-match exposure would have been great for those boys. Sunil Chhetri, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, Sandesh Jhingan do not need that exposure. They have had enough exposure in their life. They have proven multiple times that they are worthy of wearing that India jersey.
Shine, you wanted to make a point?
Actually, I was saying that I was there when Mumbai City FC was there in Kolkata for a long time for the Durand Cup, and I somehow met this one day, and I asked him, and this was quite. They didn't have in the press conference. He was asked that is he aware of the national camp? He was totally in dark. He was not aware of the camp timing and everything. So if you're the main, I think Mumbai City FC and Mohun Bagan will give you the majority of the players, and if the coaches are not aware when they will be released, what kind of players, because and I would support this in that, and he says that AFC Champions League is of more importance than Asian Games. If you see that FIFA context and AFC context too, so we need to know the importance of the things. Igor's team match may say Asian Games is the most important thing, but it doesn't help India to go anywhere in the FIFA ranking or in the AFC ranking. If we win the gold also in Asian Games, it will not affect our ranking anyways. So this is something we need to understand, which is more important. So that was that. So if you a coach like Des Buckingham, who has been successful in running a team like Mumbai City FC or Juan Fernando, you should sit down with them and chalk out a plan. This was decided in the month of July, and Arunava rightly said we discussed it even 45 days or 40 days before, right from today. Still, and we said that this is the problem we will face in September, and come September, this is the problem we are facing. So,
in fact, Hiren had also created a calendar.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Shine, your closing remarks before we end tonight's podcast.
For Durand Cup?
Yeah.
See, Durand Cup till now is able to draw good crowd in Kolkata and in Guwahati, and Kokrajhar also in some ways. So that was in the positive side. If you I consider last year and this year, people are more engaged this time, because if you see, player team has also started their preparation a bit earlier, because last year many of the teams send their B team or the C team in this, because this time, but many of the teams have sent their senior teams. That's a good thing, and it gives an underdog team like Chennai or East Bengal, or a team like uh, uh, in some way, if you ask me, or Northeast, a chance to pull up a surprise and build their momentum for the rest of the season. And that's a good thing. It should be treated as a preseason tournament, nothing more, nothing less. So let's hope that we have a great final. But I'm expecting a Kolkata derby again in the finals. This is my prediction.
Arnava. Before I go to Arnava, please, everybody who are listening to us, follow all the 4 channels and please keep showing us your support. Arnava.
Well, I think there are certain things that the Durand Cup needs to look at ahead of the next Durand Cup next year, and I think we discussed it quite a lot in this live. The quarterfinals see a lot of good teams. Certain teams look more settled, some look less settled. I have a feeling that the teams who played in Guwahati were not really challenged that much, but they have an easier path to the final also. In that way, at least in the quarters, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think can Mumbai City really keep it up? FC Goa, Northeast United, we've spoken about, look an exciting squad at the moment. We've not talked that much about East Bengal, but East Bengal has also shown promise this year. But again, can they keep it? Well, Mohun Bagan has sort of struggled as well, right? They did win their AFC Cup matches, but they lost the derby. Even the game against Punjab FC was not that, despite a 2-0 win, not that convincing. I think Punjab FC needs to find their scoring boots in the ISL, or against ISL teams at least. You saw that in the Super Cup as well. They have not been able to score. I think that's despite having Luka Machin, Juan Mera, and all these guys. Yeah, and if I see Gokulam making it through, the Blasters have a lot of homework. I think that's a team which, with this whole Vukomanovic, with the whole BFC match saga, still, I think Vukomanovic today has again started to steer on this issue. And you realize the coach is not over it. Will be interesting to see if the Kerala Blasters can really, come together and be successful, or if that's going to implode in some sort of form or way. I think that is a big danger for the Blasters this season. And again, yeah, other teams, Chennai have calmly, quietly put their squad together. Not that bad. Owen Coyle back. I think that's a huge bonus for Chennai. Owen Coyle somehow, with inferior teams, has been able to get the maximum results in this Indian Super League, be it Chennai, be it Jamshedpur in the past. FC Goa, star-studded squad, have actually left their philosophy of developing players, own players, to their style of football. They've gone in for big names. I'm interested to see how a Sandesh and all these guys actually play under Manolo. Looks exciting. And Mumbai City, Des Buckingham, huge respect to what he's built. I mean, now you see boys like Nazareth playing, scoring goals. The guys just come out of Reliance Foundation Young Champs program. So therefore, a lot of positives, I think, despite all the problems that we also spoke about from the Durand Cup, especially with the ISL teams. Again, Shan also mentioned Mohammedan Sporting. Yeah, as a team, again, that would be interesting to see who now takes over as coach. Again, some things don't change, sadly, in Indian football. So we are in the season finally, and that football is being played. But my concern is there are too many side topics. I mean, we didn't discuss it today. Yesterday, we were discussing it on Shayan's channel, is that the ISL schedule is still not out. You don't know who the broadcaster is. You don't know who the title sponsor is. All of that is being discussed. I hope all of that gets sorted in the next week or so. So a lot of challenges for Indian football.
Quick question: do you think it's gonna be sorted in a week?
I hope so, because it needs to be sorted to get, you need to block the grounds. You need to put the schedule. I think there's going to be a little bit of a tussle between AFF and FSDL in regard to number of days that they'll get off ahead of the Asian Cup. I think that will be a topic. Release of players, I think, will be also another topic. So therefore, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. So we'll be doing a podcast next week. So let's see where we stand next week.
I hope we have some answers by then. Thank you so much for joining us, and please subscribe to all the 4 channels, and please keep showing us your support. Grateful. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.